Now, everybody listening, they're looking at buying e-commerce sites and thinking about like, okay, I bought one, and what do I do now? Like, what are the low hanging fruits? What do I start working on? Kind of like what you and I were in that space of like, all right, let's just roll up our sleeves, get into it, and work and learn as we go and work it out along the way. What are some of the low hanging fruits that you had with ice wraps? In terms of growing the site,
Yeah, and I think every business is different, right? Whatever you're buying is going to
for sure.
have different low hanging fruit. But for ice drop specifically, my theory was that their platform was what was hurting them the most in terms of SEO. And I'm an SEO guy. I've been doing it since 2004. Shows my age. It's kind of brutal, but I thought that if we switch platforms to something that was a little bit more modern and faster or just more reliable, et cetera, that would help. So we switched from Yahoo stores to BigCommerce. And the other thing that I was pretty convinced was, with Google's updates over the years, Penguin Panda and some other things that were kind of happened over the years, I could see that this site was trending downward in terms of the organic search results that they were getting. I mean, at one time in the heyday, it was prolific. I mean, it was crazy. You can look at tools like SEMrush or Ahrefs and see historically how the site had done. And a lot of these penalties and the reasons sites were going down were because people were doing black hat stuff, getting bad links and things of this nature. But I couldn't find any of that with this. And I talked to the guy who I bought the site from, and he was clearly not a technical guy. He was like, "What's a backlink?" He just didn't even know what that was. So I was pretty convinced that he wasn't going out and getting spammy links.
Mm.
And so the first 6 months consisted of replatforming and getting rid of all the thin content. So getting rid of all these stock descriptions that 100 other sites had for a Mueller shoulder wrap that CVS had on their website, and
Mm.
Walgreens and these types of companies. And we took all of our own original photography, you know, 10 or so different angles of every single product, which was a huge endeavor because there was a couple hundred SKUs on the site,
Wow.
and rewrote all of the descriptions on the site, titles, all the metadata, the descriptions, put together again, all original photography. And when we replatformed, like all that went live together. And within just a couple of months after that, the site was like 10 or 20x what it was from the day that we bought it. I mean, it was a really quick turnaround. And,
That's
partially
huge.
we got lucky with that, but I think also you create your own luck. So it wasn't like this was the only business I looked at. There were hundreds of them that I had looked at. And for me, this one appealed the most because I thought that if I applied the things that I had learned in my previous business dealings, that there was a good chance they would have a good result. And so that was the first like catapult that Ice Reps had after we bought it.